And it's great to, in fact, have Commander Bhushan Diwan on the broadcast with us. He's a former senior vice president, Adani Port and SEZ. It's good to have you, sir, on the broadcast. And my first question is obviously going to be, first of all, what a commendable deal that has been cracked by the Indian government by allowing the Adani Group to pump in those precious funds, $700 million with the local conglomerate over there, John Keels. It's directly juxtaposition against the Chinese port in Colombo on the eastern side.
It's a tremendous occasion for India to celebrate, for India to be able to expand its maritime footprint in the Indian Ocean region, starting with our nearest neighbor, Sri Lanka. I must share with you that traditionally, Colombo Port has been a very strategic port because of its location, namely connecting Suez Canal on one end, on the western end, to Malacca states on the eastern end, meaning a connecting route between Asia and Europe.
Right.
But Colombo Port suffers from a disadvantage that it is basically handling traffic, shipping traffic and containers, but it is not a multimodal port in the sense, does not have integrated railways, road for evacuation purpose. And that is how Hambantota in the southeast of Sri Lanka came up. Though that's not been a success story, that's a different thing altogether. Another input background I'd like to share with you, that in 2019, the present government had withdrawn from the earlier ECT, Eastern Container Terminal in Colombo Port itself, which was a joint venture, Japan, India, and Sri Lankan Port Authority, SLPA. Mm-hmm. Why? Because that was Indian government coming into it. And Indian government, it touches Sri Lankan sensibilities learning from the Chinese experience. They wouldn't like to deal with the government body. Hence, this is a good development, though it's a compromise thing that now West Container Terminal has been given to Adani, and this is private sector.
Absolutely.
But the point is, definitely it is a strategic advantage. But let me tell you, it is regrettable that such a large country like India and, mounting its Sagarmala project, wherein over and above the 12 mega ports that we have, major ports we have, and almost 205 minor ports that we have, we are envisioned to develop 6 mega ports. And one of them was supposed to be developing our own transshipment port. Mm-hmm. Transshipment meaning that like Colombo Port, since it connects Suez Canal on the one end to Malacca on the other end, see, basically, transshipment means major consignments get broken apart into smaller consignments and are sent to Adani, 45%, Adani Mundra Port. And almost 70% of the transshipment traffic at Colombo belongs to India itself. You know what? We are depending upon Colombo for our own traffic also. And so we were developing a transshipment port at Kochi. And now that gets into a shadow. Why? Because this new port, we are in fact strengthening the transshipment capability of Colombo.
Right.
So there's no free lunch in line. Strategically, we're in a better position. A. B. We are able to put our footprint earlier, in Maldives, GMR trying to come up with an airport and take off. Maldives trying to build roads and bridges. India was doing it. And now at least we are getting into the port sector. And small point, I must share with you that in Yangon also, Adani is involved in developing a port. Though right now in March, a few months back, there has been a hue and cry by the locals that by the military junta there, mm-hmm. Adani has been allowed to come in. Mm-hmm. So this is the whole background.
This is great news, and it's a direct counter to the Chinese expansion. Holds China very, very dear to it.
Thank you, Megha. In fact, I see this project of $700 million as a harbinger of very many new, better things to come. I think dynamic, successful businessmen like Adani Group, which is the largest port operator in India and is operating, 24% of port capacity being done by Adani Ports through its 10 locations. They are our next, they are our forward people to go and expand Indian footprint in every country. I was talking, one aspect is that, no country, whether in Africa or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, Myanmar, nobody would like to, if they had half a chance, they would not like to deal with China. Why? Because China enters these countries with a premeditated ill intent to take over assets. Mm-hmm. A. B. I must tell you They bring their own manpower to work. I was in Mundra port and Adani was setting up a UMPP, mega power plant. And that time I have seen with my own eyes, even small, low class, low unskilled labor, the Chinese colony had to be built and only then the plant was set up. Whereas India is very friendly with all these countries, will not do these exploitative things. However, where we are lacking is in execution excellence. And that is where I think private players like Adani, who are expert in EPC work, dredging, creating a new port quickly, if they come to the forefront, if they are encouraged by the government, I assure you, the value proposition that then Indian companies bring to the table, perhaps no much pressure, persuasion from the government body is also required. That is the kind of value we'll bring to the table. So the whole issue is Chinese execution excellence, Chinese a lot of money thrown over there directly. These things can be countered by our ethical working, yes, Indian ethical working, yes, but by superb execution excellence, which Indian big private players like Adani can definitely bring to the table.
Right. Right, absolutely. I thank both my panelists for giving us an insight into all that is happening when it comes to these trade investments that Indian companies, Adani Group specifically, is doing not just in Sri Lanka but other parts of the subcontinent and Southeast Asian nations as well, and how that is in fact going to benefit India no end in building relations, thereby countering the salami slicing diplomacy that China has been bringing about on the table for the subcontinent nations, including Sri Lanka. On that note, I slip into a short break. I thank all my panelists for joining me on the broadcast. We will continue our focus on this expansionism program that has been launched in full stead by China, how India has rapidly taken strides to counter it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.